Setup. The setup page is where you define the structure of your finances. This is usually done once. During this video, I'll be going through the steps and entering example values, just to show you how BudgetWise works. You should replace the information with your own when setting up your file. If this is the first time using BudgetWise, you can click the Start button at the top of the setup page. This launches a guide, step-by-step panel that walks you through exactly what needs to be completed, one step at a time. As you move forward or backwards at any time, making it a safe and easy way to complete the setup without missing anything. If you prefer, you can still complete the setup manually. The Start button is simply there to guide you through the process. The very first thing you'll do here is to set up the currency symbol. This defines how all values are displayed across the entire file. Next, you'll define the starting date of your budget. BudgetWise will automatically build your budget, reports, and dashboards for up to 5 years from this date. So I'll put June 2025 as a starting date. Next, you'll define your subcategories for income, variable expenses, fixed expenses, and savings. So I'm going to populate It is important to highlight that each subcategory must have a unique name, and there should be no blank rows between them. Now, accounts. Here you define the bank accounts or cash accounts you want to track. You also enter the starting balance for each account so BudgetWise can correctly calculate your available cash over time. Now, in the accounts, the following columns are a little bit more technical. So this is the most technical part of the setup. But just to highlight, you only need to do this once. I'll be referring to the CSV files throughout this tutorial. However, any type of Excel file downloaded directly from your bank will work, as long as it contains the required information. Because every bank exports transactions in different ways, this setup is about telling BudgetWise exactly how your bank's CSV file is structured. The best way to do this is to first open the CSV file you downloaded from your bank in Excel. When you open the file, start by counting how many rows appear before the first real transaction, being this one. So in this case, we're talking about 5 rows. These are the header rows, or notes added by the bank. Enter this number in BudgetWise says header rows. Next, look at the columns where the actual transactions data appears. Identify which column contains the transaction date, which column contains the transaction value, and which one contains the description or detail. BudgetWise uses column numbers rather than letters, so remember that column A is 1, column B is 2. In this case, the date is in 1, the value is in 2, and the description is in 3. So we'll put these numbers in. So date is in 1, the value is in 2, description in 3. I don't have to change it. Now, this step ensures that important transactions are read correctly. Important to note, some banks separate debits and credits into 2 different columns, money coming in and money going out. When this happens, please provide the column number corresponding to the debits, money going out, in the debit-only column. If your bank does not separate debits and credits, simply leave this field blank. So I'm going to open an example of how it would look if you actually had this issue. In this CSV, as you can see, the value is not one column. It's basically separated into 2. In this case, you can actually identify which one is the one that is with the money going out or debits. If you count the number of columns, this will be column number 4. If that was the case, you would be putting a 4 in here. However, this is not the CSV file that I have at the moment. When is a CSV file not suitable as is? BudgetWise starts reading transactions from the first row after the header rows you specify and continues until it encounters a blank row. This means that if the CSV file contains empty rows or nodes within the transaction list, the import will stop early. In these cases, you'll need to delete those rows before importing. So in this example, this one have these spaces that are created by the bank to separate months. In those cases, you just need to delete those rows. Also, make sure that the transaction dates are formatted as days, month, year. This may depend on your Excel regional settings. If the dates is in the incorrect format, this may cause errors, as the file may interpret a day as a month or vice versa. As a last resort, for accounts where the CSV structure cannot be corrected, you can always enter transactions manually, just like you would for a cash account, where no CSV or Excel export exists, and tracking may rely on receipts or memory. Once the CSV structure is defined, you can optionally set up your savings goals. Saving goals are linked directly to your savings subcategories. For each saving subcategory, you can define how much you want to save and by when. This step can be done at any time later, so it's not mandatory during the initial setup. However, if you define saving goals now, BudgetWise can immediately start analyzing how well you're tracking against each goal in the overview and dashboards. This gives you much better insight early on, showing whether you're on track, ahead, or falling behind. Once saving goals are defined, click the Setup button to finalize the setup and prepare all pages, dashboards, and formulas. When you click the Setup button, BudgetWise will reorganize the information you just defined and prepare all budgets, dashboards, and reports. This process may take a few seconds or a few minutes, depending on the size of the file, so just let it run until it finishes. Once the setup is complete, you may notice that the monthly budget values are now blank. This is expected behavior. BudgetWise is designed so that you can add or update monthly budgets for any specific subcategory at any time. When you enter a new monthly budget value for a subcategory, that value will automatically apply across all the 5 years of the budget timeline. Importantly, leaving a budget cell blank means that it will not be updated. Also, you can add new subcategories, rename existing subcategories, add new accounts as needed over time, and then you click Setup. Be aware that if you rename a subcategory, any transactions that were previously linked to it will need to be re-identified or linked. You should avoid deleting subcategories or changing their order unless you are comfortable redoing the budget setup all over again. If you make changes to categories, budgets, or accounts in the future, simply click the Setup button again to update the tool. For account parameters such as header rows and column positions in the account section, these can be adjusted manually at any time without rerunning setup. If a bank changes the structure of its CSV file, just update those parameters before importing the new file. As you continue down the setup page, you'll see a section related to net worth. This section is optional, but it's very useful if you want to analyze how your overall net worth changes over time. Here, BudgetWise allows you to track assets, liabilities, and investments in a structured way. Just like the main setup section, this area also includes a start button. This first step is defining your assets. This could include things like house, a car, or any other asset you already own. For each asset, you'll enter the initial value, either the value at the starting date of the file or the value when you acquire it, if that happened later. You can also define an expected return or growth rate and the acquisition date. If the asset existed before your starting date, simply use the same starting date. The second step is defining your liabilities, such as loans or mortgages. Here you'll list the loan amount, the start date, the interest rate, and any regular repayment or contribution. All values are tracked from the starting date forward. Finally, you can define your investments, such as shares, ETFs, or crypto. For investments, you'll enter the starting value, the expected return, the start date, and any regular contributions, including how often those contributions should occur. You don't need to list every individual share. For easier management, you can summarize investments at an account level and track the total value instead. Once assets, liabilities, and investments are defined, click the Setup button to update the net worth calculation. In the future, you can add new items at any time and simply rerun the setup. Adjustments to actual values can also be made later through overview pages, which I'll explain further in this video. The keywords page is where BudgetWise learns how to automatically categorize your transactions. Here, you list words or phrases that commonly appear in your bank transaction descriptions and link them to the correct subcategory. When you first start using the tool, the list is going to be small, and it's normal for this step to be more manual. You'll likely need to review and categorize several transactions yourself at the beginning in the accounts page. As you do this, take note of repeated words or patterns and add them to the keywords list. With a bit of effort early on, BudgetWise becomes increasingly accurate. Over time, it's common for the system to automatically identify more than 90% of transactions, significantly reducing the amount of manual work required. The more keywords you add, the more your budget runs on autopilot.